Well, welcome to Meet the Sharks, Babson edition. And we have a great hour ahead of us. We're thrilled to have with us today two bona fide sharks, Daymond John and Mark Cuban from ABC's Shark Tank TV show. Daymond's become a familiar face on campus. He's the founder and CEO of FUBU, the sportswear company for us, by us. He came to Babson for the first time last spring at the invitation of one of our undergrad students at the One Tower, and later agreed to be an entrepreneur in residence, and he has more than delivered. There is little doubt in my mind I see him with substantially more frequency than many of the Babson students who are sitting in the room today. He's working with two grad McPhee teams to vet and bring to market opportunities that are featured on Shark Tank. He Skypes his class for 2 hours every week. He holds office hours so students can bring their ideas to him. He was the keynote speaker for our first diversity weekend for prospective MBA students and was a keynote speaker at the Babson Entrepreneurship Forum earlier this month. Daymond's also agreed to work with an undergraduate McPhee team in the spring, and there's no doubt I've left a few things out. So Daymond, thanks for bringing a fellow shark along this time. Why don't you introduce Mark to us?
Mark Cuban. I met him about, I think, 2 years ago when we were filming Shark Tank, the show that we're on. And, his history is, I think he sold a certain, what was that internet company you sold?
Broadcast.com.
Broadcast.com. He sold Broadcast.com. He made a...
We're going to be here all day. Come on, let's roll.
Yeah, he made a good amount of money. He then bought the Mavericks, and obviously
NBA
he led
champion
the
Dallas
Mavericks.
Yeah.
I was getting to that. He single-handedly, orchestrated the team to win a championship. But overall, Mark is a very, very talented businessman. He's become a friend, and he's a team player. I asked him to come out. We were requested to go to Harvard to speak today from ABC from a promotional standpoint. And I said to him, in the middle of NBA negotiations and trying to buy the rest of the world, I said, Mark, can you please come to Babson, where I'm the entrepreneur in residence, and I think that the school is worthy of you, and you're worthy of the school as well. And he, without a doubt, said, no problem, I'll be there early. And he's a team player, and then more importantly than being the person that everybody knows and everybody thinks he's a great guy. So Mark is here, and that's it. And we're going to hang out and have a good time.
We're thrilled to have you both here again today. Let me tell you how this is going to work this morning. Each of our entrepreneurs, winners of the big idea competition, are going to have 3 minutes to pitch to the sharks. And then the sharks will have another 15 minutes to question each of them and give them feedback. After both of the exchanges are over, we'll have 10 minutes or so for you to ask the sharks questions, okay? First up is Ali Ghul, a senior at Babson and a member of the founding team of Trint.me, an app that allows Facebook friends to express their intentions towards each other, friendly, casual, or romantic, without fear of being embarrassed or humiliated. The lead entrepreneur is Babson alum V.S. Joshi. Ali is launching the version available to Babson students. And Ali and the team are working with the Babson Venture Accelerator, focusing on fine-tuning the beta version of their website. Ali, are you ready to pitch to the sharks?
Yeah.
How's everyone doing?
You're wasting your time, Ali. Let's go.
So, have you guys ever been in a situation in which it was hard for you to express your intentions to someone? Well, I know I have been. It took me months to express my intention to a friend I had feelings for. And when I actually did, the response was good this time, but before that, I've had a lot of disappointments, and they haven't been good, seriously. I've had sour friendships, people have cursed me, and it hasn't been nice. And in this situation, when it did turn out well, it took me a lot of time. And the reason why it took time was because of the past situations I have been in, and mainly because I did not have Trint.me. Now, Trint.me is a patent-pending application for users to express their intentions for their friends. Trint is a contraction for true intentions. An intention that is not revealed until matched. So we use Facebook Connect, so you get a list of all your Facebook friends. These are the people you know. So we're not a dating application. We're not letting you meet new people. So these are the people you already know. So you select a friend you have intentions for, and after selecting a friend, the application gives you a list of 10 intentions. So you can look at them. It's let's hang out, you're cool, coffee, you can go up to hook up or break up. So it's all over the place. And we did a survey of more than 300 people in Babson College, Wellesley College, and Olin. And we got top 50 intentions from that. And one of our board of advisors, who's a sociology professor in Stanford University, he helped us jot down the top 15 intentions, and then we brought it down to top 10. So the great thing about the application is, let's say you select let's hang out, lunch, and hook up with a friend. That friend would have no idea what you did on the application. So it's only you and the application. If and only if there's a match, then both of you are notified privately, and your relationship can continue at the pace both of you are comfortable with. And each intention, we call it a Trinto in the Trin.me language, and you get 25 Trintos to sign up with. If you want more, you have to do a little work. So as of now, you can invite your Facebook friends, or you can work with our partners, and that's part of our freemium model. So I'm going to be explaining the revenue model. So we've got 5 different revenue models for our
Wait, first, what's a match? How do you know that there's a match?
A match is when you set an intention and the other person sets the same intention. So let's say you and me, I say
I knew it.
we don't need Trin.me. So for example, it's you select let's hang out and coffee, and I only select coffee. So the match is coffee. So
We don't see, either one of us do not see the intention prior.
Yeah.
And you have a limited amount of intention, or can I check all the boxes?
You can check all the boxes if you're smart. I mean, you can. If you want more intentions, you have to do something. So if you invite your friends, you get a certain amount of intentions for inviting friends, or you can work with our partners, which is part of our freemium model. Essentially, the application is completely free for the users. And the way we're trying to make money is firstly the freemium model. So when I say using, like working with our partners, we have people like Discovery Card, Disney.com, Restaurant.com, and you can sign up with them. And part of that transaction goes to us. Other than that, the application, as I said, is completely free, but in the future, we are planning on monetizing intentions for a small amount. So if the users want to directly buy a bundle of intentions to set on their friends, they can pay a small amount for that, and they can get that. Thirdly, it's the co-marketing opportunities. So let's say if you and me have dinner match, we'll have a coupon from a local restaurant, and we can go for dinner together. And advertising, essentially, on the application would be done in the future on our website. And licensing. So we've got bars and we've got speed dating companies which want it easier for people to meet each other, and we can give an application personalized to their company which they can use. So currently our team is based in the Silicon Valley. We've got postgraduates from computer design. We've got for MBAs, and I myself am marketing it in Babson College. I'm part of the beta test. We have had more than 1,000 users using it in Babson College with over 300 matched intentions, with over 2,000 set intentions. We had 300 matches of that. And we've been getting great feedback. I talked to Daymond about this while I was doing it as well. And the interesting part was that they wanted the user experience to be a little more interactive, and that's what we're working on right now. And we want to gamify the application a little more, so it's not just that users come here to just express their intentions. We want it to be a relationship management portal where people can come, express their feelings to people, talk to people, and like get feedback from people of their relationships. We can have experts there giving feedback of what they want to do, and like giving them advice about it. And like those are the things we would be working on in the future. And the user experience is the one thing that the beta test told us that we have to work on. And we've got 3 great board of advisors. 2 of them are Stanford University professors. One of them, as I said, is a sociology professor, and his name is Daniel McFarland, and he helped us with the intentions and with all the social aspect about it. And Jason McDonald is the other Stanford University professor, and he is he's into social media marketing, and he's helping us with that aspect. And then Patrick Panisi is CEO of another social media startup, which is venture funded, which is helping us with that. And since we are not allowed to ask any money from you guys, I mean, we would love if you have any feedback for us, anything we can improve on, or any way you can help us. My name is Ali Gul, and thank you for giving your.
Ali, you know the difference between a feature and a product.
Mm-hmm.
How is this a product as opposed to a feature? When I see this, all I see is an extended poke feature, right? And do you think it would take more than 30 days or less than 30 days for Facebook to add this?
I mean, the thing is, I've had this question quite a few times, and frankly, Facebook is not on this aspect of the market. I mean, they tend to add applications on it, and if they start focusing and trying to get all their applications, try to make them themselves, I mean, that's not the way of going. I would be afraid if Zynga does this, Facebook wouldn't be a competitor, but and the great thing is we have a patent pending technology, so if Zynga wants it, they'll have to come to us to do this, otherwise they're going to be having a big lawsuit, and we might make some money out of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't depend on that. I mean, because there used to be an app called Super Poke, right, that had a lot of different features and a lot of different filters in it that did a lot of the same thing. But that's just the first problem. Okay, so if it's not, A, I don't know if it's a patent that would hold up, but B, if it's not Facebook adding it, it's not going to be difficult. But the bigger problem is it's just a super stalker app. Seriously, I mean, because Facebook anymore is not just about your close-knit friends, right? You get friends, extended friends, and Google will give you a whole different definition with Google Plus, right? And so you're going to get people who just start, trying to get to be friends and just hitting you with all these, do you want to hook up? Do you want to hook up? It's going to be freak of the week action as people are just hitting it, and to me, that creates problems. And I understand, look, they're not going to see it, right? So if you're, it's not like a poke where you see it, right? And you kind of have to try to wonder what's going on. But, but at the same time, if I have 1,500 friends, right, and I'm just going through and just trying it, why not? Or I'm just adding, every girl that I see, I'm trying to, help my dating life, like you were talking about, and go after it. It's going to start to create issues, at some point or another, right? How do you deal with that?
I mean, we don't want this to be a very serious application. It's more of having fun with the application. That's why we want to bring in the gamifying aspect to it. So when people come onto it, it's not that they just want to sleep with random women and guys. It's about people trying to...
You guys believe that?
Yes. So it's mainly building on your current relationships. So intentions like let's hang out, you're cool, or coffee, these aren't intentions which say much. These are just intentions which you can just express to your friends and say that if you're cool, I mean, I'm only cool if you think I'm cool. So that's just like a fun aspect to it.
But the problem is you don't know, right? So, you said you have 1,000 users, 300 matches, right? Which is cool, but, if you think it through, right? First, once, let's just say I have 500 or 150 friends, right? Once I've asked the 17 that I want to have coffee, then what?
I mean, we have helped you move your relationship at another level. That's what we're trying to do. I mean, once it's done for
Trust me, if I ask those 17 people out of my 150 Facebook friends to go for coffee, and they don't know that I asked them, you haven't done shit for my relationship.
I mean, we actually have, because there's another feature in the application which says My Friends. You can always send the person a hint. I mean, you can
just send them a message if I'm going to send them a hint,
I mean, you can, but the thing is, there are other intentions which people do have trouble expressing, and like you won't be going to a friend you want to like have some intentions for, and you want to go for a dinner date. I mean, sometimes you're not that comfortable with that person, and it's an acquaintance relationship.
I agree with what he's saying because, think about all the females that may have intentions there, and then they're in uncomfortable positions like their bosses are putting intentions there, and then when they click and they see that the intention from their boss is something different, it may cause a challenging situation. But how will you educate people that this exists?
I mean, that's our marketing strategy. We're going from college to college, and the reason why we stick to the college market and why we want to focus on that is because we already have those communities built. So once we go per college, we can have campus ambassadors there. So now that we have ambassadors in Babson, we have ambassadors in other colleges which haven't been activated, and they will be activated next semester. They're in WPI, DePaul, USC, and they're going to be helping us marketing it to their college community, because since there is that community factor that comes in. But that makes it easier for us to market it in a community.
So if we were on the panel, would this be an out or an offer?
It would be an out.
It would be an out for me as well.
Yeah. Now, one thing I will tell you, I hate it for relationships, right? Just because a relationship requires a relationship, right? And you already know at some level the relationship you already have with the person, right? And if you don't, because it's just some friend of a friend or your mother's cousin type Facebook friend, it doesn't matter, right? Now, where this might be of value is in a business relationship, right? So, it's not about, do you want lunch? Just like, we've got these 3 projects at work, which is more of interest, and, I can assign my interest without my boss seeing it, and if it matches up, okay, that's something, because that's a difficult situation where you're thrown into, and you're very protective, and you have different needs and obligations, right? Whereas in a personal relationship, come on, do you want coffee? I mean, it's going to be, dude, just ask me out, or come on, whatever, right? It's going to be harder, or you're just going to poke them, or you're just going to send them a message, right? But in other types of scenarios where you're forced to have a relationship and it's difficult to communicate, or you're not in a position to communicate, and you don't want people on the outside to see your intentions, yes, I want this guy's job, or do you want, whatever it may be, right? Those types of scenarios, I'd be a lot more interested if it was in a business environment.
And I totally agree. Like that's.
If you totally agree, why'd you do this?
The thing is, it's not only into dating. It's like people have all sorts of intentions. So it's not datingintentions.com. It's your true intentions, and your true intentions could range from business to casual to dating to your intentions you have for your family. But since we wanted that community, that's why we started with a target market of the college audience, since we wanted that mass audience using it. So those intentions.
But you're going to lose a boatload of money trying to get there, right? And all the iterations and all the updates and all the advisory groups and all the ambassadors and all the interaction and development that you're going to have to do. I mean, look, one of the issues that entrepreneurs always have is that once you get in, you find 50 other things you think are going to be more interesting, and I call that drowning in opportunity. And that's a big problem all entrepreneurs face. Oh, once we get here, then we can go there. You got to do one thing and do it well, right? And so if this is the first route you're going to take, you got to kick ass. Otherwise, you're going to be gone before you wake up.
Yep.
And so, it's not something I would invest in as is if it was geared towards, if not business, something else that's just not relationship driven, because that's something that requires a personal interaction at some point, and then you lose the need for this. Because take it to the next thing. Okay, we went to coffee. What am I going to do? Not talk to you because I want to see what your trend is? So where do you go next?
And that's something we have to build on, and I completely agree with you. And that's a really great idea. And on our big idea competition, we got a similar feedback from one of the judges, and he was really interested in the business-to-business aspect of it, and that's definitely something we can work on.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's business-to-business. It's more within a business.
Company.
Yeah, within
exactly.
a company.
I completely agree.
But you know what? I think that we're a little older, and my daughter and the kids, they only kind of communicate through technology nowadays. So it is, let's go to coffee. All right, we'll go home.
No, but you'll text them though. But
you're silly enough to be good.
Trust me, I mean, I won't even let you call me, right? You got to text me or email me or Facebook or whatever, right? And so, yeah, you got to pick one thing that you know is going to work, right, as opposed to just getting through.
I mean, it's something like when Farmville came in, people might be thinking, why the hell would you do farming on Facebook when you have a ground outside?
Why? You know why? Because it's the best alternative to boredom.
Exactly.
That's what Farmville is.
Exactly.
And that's why it went up and now it's going down. That's why Zynga went up and now it's going down, right? Because before, when you'd walk into an office, you'd see people playing solitaire on their computer, right? What are you doing? Playing solitaire. Now they're playing, or they were playing Farmville. Then there'll be another game, then there'll be something else. Maybe it's trimp meat, but I'd pick a spot and go for it, and I don't think that relationships is it. So as we say on Shark Tank, I'm out.
I'm out.
And just
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Most of you are sitting there saying, thank God it wasn't me. So, how does it feel?
It feels okay. I mean, I won't say that the Sharks are the first one who said that, and since it is a social experiment, we don't know where it's going to go, but definitely great advice, and we will be working on that. And thanks a lot for.
And what are you going to do next after this? After we basically told you it's not worth anything?
We'll be doing more user-based tests in Babson, and we're having a few testings in a week's time. And if we get similar feedback, then definitely it's not like we're just hung up with this. We're open for change because we.
But you're still going to move forward.
We are going to
Absolutely. That's exactly what you should do.
Thank you, Daymond. All right. Thank you.
If you guys get a hint suggesting that you offer up a coffee, you'll know where it came from. So let's get to the second team. Next up are Joseph Drashel and Darshan Doshi, first-year MBA students and co-founders of Spy Games. Like a New Hampshire Republican debate. It's amazing. Spy Games is a live, interactive, choose-your-adventure game that takes place in real time in the real world. Spy Games involves characters, storylines, and a series of missions staged throughout the customer's city. An interactive mobile app helps guide agents throughout the missions. Joseph and Darshan are also active in the Babson Venture Accelerator, focused on proving the feasibility of their concept. And Joseph's going to be pitching today, so Joseph, you're up.
Have you ever watched a movie and imagined yourself as one of the characters? Last year I was on the Boston Common. Suddenly, a guy all dressed in yellow sprints over the hill. He's being chased by two others carrying brooms between their legs. Turns out they were playing the game of Quidditch from Harry Potter, and they were chasing the snitch. But why? And why is there a Star Trek convention every single weekend of every year in at least 3 different cities? Why do people spend hours online each day playing World of Warcraft, building online characters? Here's why. Secretly, people don't want to just watch a James Bond movie. We want to be James Bond. We want to be a part of it. Now, video games and movies are a step closer, but they're still far removed from the real thing. And unfortunately, that's it. There is no next step, no live-action equivalent to a video game or a movie. But what if there were? Introducing Spy Games, a live-action game where you are the hero and the game takes place around you and your team as you literally embark across your actual city on a series of missions, tracking clues, cracking codes, discovering the enemy. At the conclusion of each task, a video transmission is received from headquarters detailing your next assignment. This video changes, however, based on your current location and the decisions you've made up to that point in the game. It's a live-action, choose-your-own-adventure game, and the outcome is all up to you. Spy Games is part of the alternate reality gaming industry, which has experienced significant growth in its first few years. It just started a few years ago. Spy Games is targeting initially the 18 to 26-year-old video gamer market. And because of Spy Games' unique, repeatable format, the cost per game is lowered to a level that is for the first time accessible to this market. Revenues come not only from customers on a pay-to-play model, but also from strategic partnerships with local businesses. For example, an agent walks into Dunkin' Donuts, orders a donut that is not on the menu, and is given a donut, but has also slipped a clue along with that donut. This type of in-game advertising not only enhances the storyline for the player, but also provides valuable exposure for the business. My name is Joseph Drashel. I have a strong background in interactive entertainment as well as video and multimedia production. I'm passionate about creating experiences. My partner Darshan Doshi has experience running a small to medium-sized business and specializes in operations. Spy Games' top 3 priorities are round out our feasibility analysis and start our market test phase, build our board of advisors to include experts in the gaming and entertainment industry, and finally secure a technical co-founder or advisor to assist in our development of the mobile app and gaming engine. Thank you.
Now, why is everybody applauding? Because he made it through the presentation? or the
No, actually, because he could say Darson Doshi really fast.
So I actually do like this because I do believe I'm a superhero, right? But I'm not grasping. I get the reward, as in you go through something and, you know, from the business, the B2B, or the business, I'm sorry, to consumer reward. But why am I doing that prior, you know, what's my reward as a person playing it? The discounts that I'm getting going through, my friends are seeing that I'm accomplishing these things. What's my reward exactly?
So this game is basically engaging, it's immersive, and it's experience basically to give you a lot of excitement. So as you go through the stages, you're not only solving puzzles, so it involves decisions, it involves analytical skills, it involves teamwork because you're working in a team of 5, maybe even 3, maybe 6. And going forward, you also have some action element in that. Could be a Nerf gunfight, could be a laser tag gun.
Okay, so you're going, when you're on these journeys, you're in a team of 5.
Yes, we during the market test that we want to do it over the next few months, we are looking a team from maybe 3, 5 to 7.
So then it gives certain team members bragging rights that I've accomplished all my assignments and you haven't, and or something like that. Do we all get the same assignments?
Well, it's a choose-your-own-adventure game, and the game changes based on the decisions that you've made. So let's say, for example, you walk out after your briefing, they tell you, hey, you guys are agents, you've been trained, your memory's been wiped for your protection. Would you retain all your skills and all the knowledge you had before? We just had to wipe it so you guys don't remember. But here's your assignment, here's the person you're going after. You guys leave the building, you get it immediately, the GPS says, okay, they've left this building, initiate this video transmission. And it's a rogue agent saying, hey, the mission you guys are on is a wild goose chase. I know I'm a rogue agent, but I'm actually double agent working for you guys again. And you got to trust me. If you trust me, meet me here in 10 minutes. And that's a decision point change. If you go this way, then the game and the outcome scenarios are these. If you go with the rogue, it totally changes.
Now, who programs each one? This is automatic program, or you're customizing each program for each person? Because that's a large amount of manpower, obviously.
No, it's based on the mission itself. Programmed one time with a wide variety of decisions. And whichever path you go, based on
So how do you
your
program?
actions.
What are your inputs for your program?
So basically this is going to be a location-based mobile app. You could have your iPhone, and with your iPhone you'll probably receive a video giving the outline of what your mission is or what your next clue is. Then you go to say Dunkin'.
Okay, so what are the variables for the missions then? So I use my GPS, I find out what the
Yes.
different businesses are, right, and what the different options available to the game, right,
Yes.
based off of whatever mapping system I'm using, right?
Right.
But how do I determine, to DJ's point, he wants to know if this is automated or you have to recreate
Oh, so
the
there
game.
it is
So
mostly automated.
I'm sorry?
This is mostly automated.
Okay.
It's driven by mobile applications and videos that are coming to your mobile app based on your location, but also there
So
are
there's
a couple
videos?
of actors.
Okay, so I download your app, right, onto my iPhone. I want to play, right? What am I going to see first off?
Yeah.
So think of this like a movie. There are regular scheduled times. You're going to go to the 8 o'clock showing with your team of 5. Hey, there may be other, 3 or 4 other teams that are playing at that exact same time, playing the same mission as you. Of course, their mission is going to diverge based on their decisions. But it starts at a certain place at 8 o'clock on
My
Saturday.
showtime, so it's driven to a central place where everybody's going to do it at the same time, and you've got a video that you're streaming using actors that are telling all these people, right?
Yes.
Now, you've got a decision tree that you've built behind it, right?
Yes.
So the question is, what goes into the decision tree? Because otherwise, even though my variables might change by location, right, if it's all the same, how big is the decision tree? How many different options are there? Because it could get boring real fast if you're seeing the same ones
Right.
every week.
So that is one of the challenge that we face, but we want to limit a decision. we want to just limit the decision to give 2 outcomes. So every puzzle or every stage of the mission would have 2 decisions that you can make.
At least 2.
Yeah, at least 2. And depending on that, you can have, at the end of the game, probable 4 outcomes, or maybe 6 outcomes, or 8 outcomes. So we want to test this during the next phase.
Let me give an example of the type of thing that might trigger a different decision. One is, let's say you got 6 minutes to get to some guy that's 10 minutes away, and you've been given a hint along the way that you should be taking a certain route. You take a different route, the GPS knows which route you're taking, and you've been spotted by the enemy. And
okay, so let me get this first. Okay, so right now, where are you at in the whole development of the company? You're just at the beginning. This is just
Your concept, right now?
Yeah, we're just finishing our feasibility analysis. We're about to move into our market tests.
You have no idea whether or not you can do it.
We know we can do it. We've got competitors out there that are doing something
No,
similar
because
to
the
it.
competitors, right, there's a ton of competitors
Oh, yeah.
out there for alternate reality stuff, right?
Right.
Most of them are treasure hunt driven, or people just put different things in different places and everybody goes and
Yes.
tries to find them, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And most of them aren't making any money, and a lot of them are disappearing by the minute, right?
Right.
But the challenge is, you're not really, look, if you're trying to develop an alternate game, or an alternate reality type game, right, you're trying to develop a real-time version of The Amazing Race built around a mobile app,
Yes.
right, where the participants come in and say, hey, I'm going to be part of the, I'm Doshi Darshan, and I'm going to be part of the, and I'm going to be part of the game, right? And you hope you get enough people where it becomes interesting, because if you only have, your little brother and 3 of his friends playing, it's not going to be very interesting for very many people, right?
Right.
And so you've got to make it so that it's automated enough that all the different options are interesting, but that's not easy, because you've got to be able to use a lot of very difficult algorithms to try to determine all your locations, what's available to you, and then if you're trying to say, okay, you're going to integrate Dunkin' Donuts and you're going to have people who have to actually get involved,
Right.
besides just Skyping or just streaming somebody through
Yes.
it, right? So what type of budget, how much do you think it's going to cost to do something like that?
So right now, we are looking at the market test. We have about 80 to 100 strong beta testers at Babson College.
So you have a beta version that's out.
Yes, so we want to test out the attributes and the features over 6 to 8 market tests in the next 3 to 4 months.
Okay, because you told me you're just in concept. If you're in beta, that's not in concept, you're in beta, right?
So we've gone from concept, we've done market research, we've done competitor analysis, we've done the feasibility. Tentatively, right now, it's difficult to give an exact amount which is going to change over the market
Okay,
test.
so you were in concept, so
Yes.
concept is not
We're in
beta.
2 beta
right?
phase. We've
Okay, so
previously
you got an app.
experienced-
What does your app do right now?
No, we don't do it on app right now. We are using.
I thought you said
we are
people were-
using a platform which is developed by Scavenger.com, which is basically.
So you're just running Scavenger, you're running an app, but you're just testing all your different types of events on Scavenger to see if people will like them, and then you want to move that into
Yeah,
your
we want
own
to
lab.
test different features at different levels.
Absolutely. You want to start small, keep your affordable loss low, and learn as you go. This didn't work, we'll change it. This didn't work, we'll change it until we got something we know that works.
Okay, so
and
let's
that's
take a
where we
step
invest.
back. First, you realize you started off the whole thing with nothing but total bullshit, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's an alternative reality game, right? It's an alternate reality game. So it's not a movie,
No.
right? It's reality.
Yes.
I'm on the scavenger hunt on scavenger.com or through your app, so I'm me no matter what or no matter what. There's no movie, there's no, you might be able to, on the phone say, okay, I've checked in on Scavenger and, hit my button here and you have an actor or somebody screaming, you're the first or whatever, and you're streaming whatever. I get that. So the idea that you're doing something that is driven by a showtime, if you will, as opposed to just everybody's ad hoc, right? That's a little bit different, right? Because most people just acquire points when you do a scavenger.com deal, right? Or it doesn't matter what the platform it's built on, whether it's Foursquare, whatever, right? Or if it's a scavenger hunt or a treasure chest, well, all the different ones out there, right? Most of those are just ad hoc, and then you just earn your points, and then you try to get as many points. And, if you're the one who found the treasure, look at me, I found the treasure. Woo.
But we
It's
are
exciting.
not
Then I'm going to my
offering
Star
just a
Trek convention.
We are just not offering a treasure. We have a storyline built.
No, I get. All I'm
Yeah.
saying, I'm actually
Yeah, but
giving
we
you
need to work on it.
Right. What I'm giving you a compliment by saying that where those are just about accumulating points, you're trying to actually create an event. That's the word I'm looking for, right? So what I'm telling you is, don't sell it as you're putting yourself in the game, because the minute you start to think about it, hello, you've got to be in the game, right? You're not taking someone else's place. Because I think when you first started doing that, the first thing I wrote, okay, well, if you're going to take a gaming system and take, a video with somebody, it's like, have you ever been to Jib Jab's site, where they do the greeting cards and they put your face on there and all that, and everybody loves seeing their kids and, like little Christmas elves. I thought, okay, this could be something like that and I'm thinking, okay, is there an API? But that's not what you guys are, right? You guys are an event. That's what you're trying to be. You're trying to be a unique event where you're going to try to convince people to come in all at the same time and have fun. And using mobile phones, you're going to try to, it's like with a flash mob, a flash mob with events, basically, right? And so that could be fun. That could be interesting, but you got to know what you are in order to be successful, right? So if you come in and say, we are a live event company that's global, not really global because of time zones, but regional, right, or national, right? And we've got some really cool games that we're going to allow people to get into, and we've got a really good approach to marketing it so that we can maximize the number of participants. Then all of a sudden, okay, you can have someone, if you've got 18,000 people that you're streaming to that are participating at one time, right? And you're streaming to them. I can wear my Dunkin' Donuts T-shirt if I'm one of the people, announcing, hey, Joseph in Philadelphia just made it to Dunkin' Donuts, so y'all all you Babson students in Boston, you're running late, right? And the scorecard says you're 7 minutes behind, kind of like an Amazing Race. However you do it, right? An event company doing something like that could be cool because that's what would make you different. Now, I'm not an expert in the alternate reality games, but at the Mavs, we try to do things with Scavenger. We try to do different stuff like that, to get people to the arena early. Do funky stuff like that. And it's hard to get participants, right? Because it sounds really good, and you hear one story, but it's anecdotal, and most people don't give a shit about it, right? And so, but if you make it an interesting event and you build in the fact that people have phones, right? And you can come up, and the hard part is getting participation, right? And you can get whatever that inflection point in participation is, 5,000 simultaneous players, 10,000, 20,000, right? If you could see yourself getting 100,000 simultaneous players, then you got something.
Yes.
Right? Because then people are like, what are all these people doing jumping on one foot running to Dunkin' Donuts, right? But if you only get 17 and you're related to all of them, that's what you've got to figure out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the things that makes us the most excited about this particular concept is that not only like a scavenger hunt where you're just going through trying to do different challenges, puzzles to get to the end, this one has an immersive storyline. And like you said,
but they all think that, look, anybody who goes on scavenger.com, right, and builds something, they think they have an immersive storyline too.
Right. Are they going to different places?
Of course, that's the idea of a scavenger hunt. You go to different places.
Are people there reinforcing the illusion that they are indeed a secret agent and handing them off?
Well, yeah, because you sign up, you put in your email address, and at 7:15, I'm going to send an email out to everybody and say, yo, you're a dumb shit. You're in the wrong spot. No, you're doing it right. Whatever.
Yeah. So one of the things...
Would you be in or out on this?
I'm trying to figure out if they know what they're doing.
One of our main competitors in New York is called Accomplice. They're very labor heavy. Most of their stuff is run through actors. They have 8 to 10 actors, and the thing runs 3 to 3.5 hours for a city walking tour. But they're booking it at $65 per person, and they're running 10-minute or 10 people groups every half hour.
Every half hour.
They're booked solid through their season.
See, that's what I'm saying. If you're an event, right? That's not where you came in and pitched me, right? Did you ever see the movie The Game with Michael Douglas?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're trying to set up, right? But you don't want to just do it. You've got to decide what you want to be if the company grows up. Do you want to be a for-hire type scenario like you talked about for Accomplice, or like they did in The Game, right? And then you just control the game?
Right.
Or do you want to be a mass event?
So we want to be an event which goes on, say on a Saturday night, over 20-25 locations across the United States, where people are going out with their friends, family. We also
So you want everybody to trint each other and say, you playing? Yeah, I'm playing.
So guys, here's the beauty of Shark Tank. I sit on a panel with 4 other individuals who all are experts in their own field. A lot of people think that I come in on the deal the last minute because I'm waiting to find a great opportunity, but I listen to people who know way more about the field than I do. If you were talking about shirts and designs, I could tell you everything about down to the button, everything. But as I see Mark come up with a lot of questions and things, I didn't have any idea of the competitors, and 9 of the 10 things he said, I had no clue that even existed. But what I do is I lay back and I act like I know everything. I let him say everything. And then, if this was on the Shark Tank, instead of being a shark, I would swoop in like a buzzard at the end and give.
He likes to talk about his dreams. You know, the things he wished would happen.
Or if I found him interested in this, I would get in on it to either raise the price up or just be partners with him because I know that he's interested. It sounds interesting to me, personally. I would probably be in, but on a really, really high amount of percentage for the company, just because I think that he's interested in some sense. And then sometimes he does that, and he knows it's crap, just so I can spend my money. I would probably...
You can't figure out whether you're piggybacking on smart money or you're...
I can't, right. I want a free ride all the time.
You know what they say, when you sit at the poker table, you look for the idiot, right? And if you don't see him, it's you.
Exactly.
You know?
I would probably be in at a high valuation.
What's your reaction?
Excellent.
Excellent.
To have him approve it, we definitely think this is an interesting opportunity. We are working hard to identify the attributes, and we understand that we need to refine our product, and that's what we'll be doing over the next 6 months.
Let me give you guys some advice, right? The scavenger shit is a waste of time, right? What Accomplice is doing is a better model, right? Create events, right? What Accomplice is doing is smart because they're getting paid to learn, right? Which is always smart. So you want to know if the events are any good, so you're setting up the stuff on Scavenger, right? And you're trying to get your friends involved, and, you know, you're doing it on Saturday night instead of Trenting. You know, everybody makes decisions, right?
He's killing you. He's killing you. He's killing you.
But at the end of the day, right, the most important thing is, are the games you're going to create any good? And can they stand on their own, right? And can you get people willing to pay for them? Because that'll be an indication of whether or not they'll volunteer. You can get a lot of people to participate, right? And so I would suggest to you that you focus on trying to create the most amazing race game, whatever, that's unique and different, and see if you can convince people to pay you.
I love what Mark is saying. He's saying make it an event. And I've been telling my staff lately that now that I'm on the public stage, I can't really be seen in the street walking around drunk. So SantaCon is happening September 10th. I can dress up like Santa and be drunk and run around the city, right? With 200,000 other Santas. But it's an event, right? And I think that Mark is accurate in positioning it as an event and game / It's just your positioning. I like it.
All right. So nice work.
Excellent advice from both of you. Thank you very much. It's absolutely the plan we're going forward with.
Super.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you so much. Now it's time to turn the session over to you. So we have our first question here.
Yeah, so TVs are getting smart, and everyone's using their phones when they're watching TV. Something like 80% of people that are watching TV sports are tweeting about it. And yeah, you're watching Sunday Night Football, everyone's tweeting about it. Where do you see this going in the future about creating a more interactive experience with phones and TVs? What if I could pull up Dirk's statistics on demand while the game's going on, or see how many...
It's called Yahoo Sports and ESPN. You can.
With your phone?
Yeah,
you can send information to the TV?
Well, no, you don't have to send it to the TV. You're just online, right?
Right, on your phone. But what if you could share with everyone and create a social experience?
Well, look, a couple different things. All the new phones now will have, when you go to the browser, there's the little, doomajiggy, right, for sharing, right, the icon for sharing. So you can share everything now. The issue isn't can you share side to side, right? Because whatever, pictures, stats, whatever, every page you go to, if the designer has half a brain, you're going to be able to share it on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, whatever, right? So that's not a big deal. The interesting thing is, I've got a company, HDNet, and what we're doing is we're starting to do more and more live events, right? So like what Darshan, and Joseph were doing for events. Okay, because anything that's live has the potential to also work on television. So we're doing live concerts and letting people go directly to, the bands. Like we had Widespread Panic, and in between puffs, everybody was tweeting to them and emailing them and whatever. to try to get them to respond, and they did. So to me, the future of television is television. Right? It's not going to be replaced by streaming. That's just going to be a complement. But the ability in television, because it's designed to have hundreds of thousands, millions of people in one place at one time, the ability to use your phone to interact with a live event in TV, that would be cool. So if you go back to Spy Games, right, and we're broadcasting it, or, and you could actually interact, you could tweet to them or email them or text them, whatever, while they're doing it, and part of the show, and that influences the show, that could be interesting, and that's where I see it going.
So maybe like in an arena, you can, there's
No,
a trivia question.
absolutely not. Because
we're done.
Yeah, in an arena, just to answer your question, in an arena, you never want people looking up or looking down. You want people in the game, because the best thing about going to a game is the energy and the excitement, right? So I want people using their hands to clap, to stomp their feet, to scream, to yell, to high five. And if everybody's down like this, none of that happens, and there's no reason to come to the arena.
Other questions? Yeah, thanks.
So on Shark Tank, we get to see you guys actually interact with the crowd, or with the presenters. What sort of due diligence process do you guys go through, either before or after, to understand the markets a little better and vet ideas?
Come to in-depth due diligence we do before we see the entrepreneurs.
We don't know anything about the entrepreneurs until they walk up.
Like you saw right here.
Actually, the audience knows it beforehand. After we do the deal, let's say we do about 10 deals, each one of us, on Shark Tank. And by the way, those deals sometimes take about an hour and a half as we're negotiating them. Probably about 20% of that actually goes, follows through, because the person has given us, they've misrepresented themselves, or we just don't like the person, or whatever the case is. Professor Daniels and Professor Thornton have put together 11 students from the McPhee team to vet all of my shark deals, and Mark and I are on 3 of the deals. And they've come up with probably about 3 of the 10 deals that we feel are good enough to move forward. Al, why don't you stand up?
Big Al.
Al right here is one of the people who has faced all the sharks, and we are airing on February 3rd. You don't want to sit down.
Friday on ABC. Yeah.
We're airing February 3rd. You will see Al in front of us, taking on all of us. I can't tell you his company name. I don't want to tweet it out that we've done the deal, but the McPhee team has basically vetted this whole thing, and that's what happens. We go through a vetting process. That's it.
Because I've always wondered, what's the process in terms of, are you guys actually, without getting too personal, putting your own money in, or is it?
It is our own money.
Okay, because I love that show. Also, Mark, is it true you reply to every email? Because
No.
I wrote you a very personal email, and I wasn't sure if it was because of my last name. It might have gone to spam account, so
No.
I was very
It
sad.
probably went to spam, but I don't respond to all of them, but I read them all.
Oh, okay, all right.
And so if I'm interested, I'll reply. So that means I wasn't interested.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It's just a quick way of getting out.
Yeah.
I've got a question mainly for Daymond. In building a global brand in the apparel industry, how essential do you think it is to have major endorsements? And do you think it's possible with the right endorsements to get to the point where you can make large-scale licensing and private label deals in what do you think would be maybe the shortest theoretical time that you could get from startup to making those larger deals?
Endorsements, you're talking about public, celebrity, or you're talking about strategic endorsements, as in, the reason why I was able to scale quickly is I ended up doing a deal with Samsung, the textile division. And Samsung does $180 billion as a global company. So that was the reason I was able to scale quickly. I could have had the biggest celebrities in the world on the product, but I wouldn't have been able to manufacture and distribute the product. In regards to endorsements, I think that obviously there's a price to pay, but it depends on who's endorsing the product. When I came out, I initially started with LL Cool J. I felt that he was my Michael Jordan of Nike. As I've gotten to, as the space has gotten to grow, I decided now that I don't hang my hat on one celebrity per se. I like to give a portion to many celebrities because, with the social media world, celebrities are hot and dead in 1 year, and you don't want to hang your hat in one place. So, did I answer both of the questions?
Yeah. When you made the deal with Samsung, what did it take to get to the point where Samsung was willing to make a large-scale deal with you?
Okay, good. So sales cures all, as far as I'm concerned.
That's my line you stole from me.
No.
Yes.
Robert's line I stole from Robert.
Well, he got it from me. Anyways.
Well, I perfected it.
Yes, you did.
So, sales cures all. Proof of concept, the fact that people want to see it, that it's scalability. So, as in anybody who you're pitching to, they have to see that there's potential growth to move upward, and they need to know whether you're doing it in just Babson or just in Boston or just in the United States, that you can replicate this model any and every other territory and grow it. And that was what attracted Samsung. Samsung noticed me for about 3 years, and they saw that every single year consistently I was growing and I could not meet the demand.
Thank you very much.
Question? Yes.
Hi, I have been watching your Shark Tank show recently, and I saw you invest money right at the moment because you think the business was opportunities. But could you share the example where you think it was a perfect opportunity at the beginning, but it turns out to be an unsuccessful or even a disaster investment? And why?
It's too many to really, for me, I don't know, Mark may retain more than I do, but we see maybe 90 to 100 people each season, and each one of them, as I said, could be an hour, 2 hours long, so I don't recall many of them. I love entrepreneurship. I know that I'm not the smartest person in the room, and that the fact that I want to invest in some of these young, bright-eyed people that have these great opportunities, so I'm in love with almost every idea as soon as it comes out. I wait till these guys cut it up and then realize that I could be a moron if I invest in it. But I'm in love with mostly all of them. So that has happened to me maybe about 75% of the time where I love something at the end and I go, what was I thinking?
Last question. First impressions, last impressions, the most important thing you leave. So this is going to be a great question.
As many of my peers graduate and look for jobs, LinkedIn has become the premier source for us to find jobs and build our brand. Yet the stock price is at an all-time low right now, and I just wanted to get more thoughts on LinkedIn as a company as well as a tool for us as we graduate.
I mean, LinkedIn is just one more tool in the toolbox, right? You've got to use it like anything else. I mean, it's not the only thing you'll use, but it's just one thing you have to use. You have to be out there, and it keeps people off your Facebook account, right? But in terms of the company and the stock price, the quality of the company and the stock price rarely are one and the same. I mean, I say this all the time. You're pretty much an idiot if you invest in the stock market right now. Seriously. Because remember we talked earlier about, when you sit at the poker table, you look for the moron. If you don't see it, it's you. Well, every single professional that eats, sleeps, and breathes stocks and equities and every derivative that there is praying that you guys come in and make your own investment decisions. Because they live their whole lives just focusing on that, and you guys come in between classes and check out Wall Street Journal and use LinkedIn and think you know the company. So be careful of the stock market. It's not what it was 20 years ago. It's more of a platform for algorithmic trading and indexes than it is for investing in individual stocks. So be careful. If that answers your question.
Okay, so let's say thank you to Mark.